Welcome to the Feeding Hour. In this episode, Britny Lievano, mom of 7, joins us to share her journey, exploring the ups and downs of breastfeeding and formula feeding, and her transition from a working, pumping, formula feeding mother to exclusively breastfeeding as a stay-at-home mom. Thanks so much, Britny, for sharing all of your wonderful stories with us. Enjoy. Alrighty. Hey, Abby.
Hi, Catherine.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. I'm so happy to welcome our guest, Britny Lievano. Britny, will you introduce yourself?
Yes, my name is Britny. I'm a stay-at-home mom and a devout Catholic mother to 7 beautiful children. Their ages range from 14 years old to 4 months old. I never really having a big family. That wasn't really in my plans, but I guess, that was God's plan all along. So I guess the joke was on me. Um, But yeah, my feeding journey with all of my children have been very different. I was a working mom for the longest time. I actually stopped working 3 years ago. And so with the first 5 children, I had to supplement with formula because I was just working so much. Um, I was trying to keep up with the pumping and trying to strictly nurse, but it just wasn't possible. And then, of course, my mom was always in my ear telling me, it's just so much easier to bottle feed, just give the baby some formula. It'll be good. The baby will sleep better. And so I would hear that all the time. So it was just always easier for me to just hand a baby a bottle, and that would always fix it. So I did breastfeed as much as I could. I pumped. It didn't work out for the long run, but um I supplemented, and that helped out a lot. um and yeah, I mean, when I stopped working, I started breastfeeding my baby, and I knew right then and there, I was like, oh, well, I can breastfeed, like this isn't hard, like everybody else says it was going to be. Like my mom was like, oh, you can never do this. It's not going to work. I wasn't able to do it. But sure enough, I was doing it, and I did it. And that was probably one of the biggest accomplishments for me. Um,
Wow. Was
oh,
that what did like I guess was it with one of your children that you felt like the journey became easier, or was it like mid journey, or like how did that transition look?
I mean, it was the same with child number 1 through 5. It was just the same. I worked constantly. So it was just like I knew I was going to nurse, and I knew I was going to pump for as long as I could. And that usually was like within 6 months.
Hmm.
That's when everything would dry up. And then I'm like, okay, well, then the baby's just going to get formula from that point on. So it's really from like the time the baby was born until 6 months.
Okay.
The breast milk and bottle feeding, and then strictly formula after that.
Okay. So it was just like because of the extra bottles, it would end up impacting your supply over.
Yeah, sure. That was the biggest challenge, honestly.
Mhm.
I mean, I always knew that I wanted to or like not bottle feed. Always knew that I wanted to breastfeed,
Mhm.
because really that's like the best thing that you could do for your child.
Mhm.
But because of my situation, I wasn't able to do that.
Yeah. Oh my-
Pumping is a lot of work. Oh my goodness. It is so much work. You have to have time to do it. I don't know. It's a lot of work.
Totally. Oh my gosh. It's yeah. I mean, even it's amazing you made it with working and 6 months and all of these kids. So then what was it like when with your, I guess, sixth child when you kind of were able to breastfeed longer or more how you wanted to?
Honestly, I felt like I was happy, but I also felt like I was robbed. Like like I felt like I was robbed of that because honestly, like I always, like I always listened to, well, I wouldn't say I always listened to my mom, but I tried to listen to her on this one because she's like, listen, I wasn't able to do it. And so I kind of like had that in my mind
Mhm.
that, oh, I can't do it. It's not going to work out for me. And I didn't give myself a chance. But when I had baby number 6, I was like, you know what? I'm not working. Like, I can do this. So I did it and everything went fine. And I felt so like good. I was like, wow, like I can do this. Um,
Yeah.
but then I also, yeah, I felt like, I was like, man, like I wish I could have done this for my other children.
Mhm.
But then again, I was working too. So it just didn't work out, unfortunately. Um,
Yeah.
but
Well, I think that's cool because now that you've kind of like changed the pattern, you can influence your girls as they grow up and teach them a different way and explain your experience with them and I think that's really cool.
I no, yeah, definitely. I'm glad that they got to see that, um,
And
'cause
even like it's interesting hearing just like how much the belief that you could or couldn't do it and the time. Of course, we know it's also work and pumping and all the things, but like just the belief that hey, I can do this. Like let me try, and then I don't know. It's kind of like a self-fulfilling prophecy in a way, like when you're committed to it like that.
yeah, I mean, I don't know, it definitely like it was a lot to be like. I mean, first of all, breastfeeding is not easy. This breastfeeding is one of the most hardest jobs ever for a mom. I feel like I don't know. That was my experience,
Mhm,
but yeah, I mean, it's also very rewarding when you stick to it.
mhm,
You have to stick, hey, like I can do this. I can do this. It's hard work, but just got to be patient.
mhm.
Yeah. So when you like with that sixth baby and you're fully breastfeeding full time, did you experience like what was the most challenging aspect of it? And then what was the most rewarding aspect of it?
The most challenging aspect of it, I would probably say just getting through the first couple of months because they're so little and they eat so much and you have to like feed them all the time.
Mhm.
Um, you're like, okay, are they getting enough? Like doing this right? Do milk still there? Because sometimes there are times where I'm just like, I don't think this is gonna work out. Like maybe I don't have any more milk. I don't know. Maybe I should do the formula. So I would say probably the first few months when the baby's born, that's probably the hardest because you're still the baby, you're still trying to figure everything out.
Mhm. I
Yeah.
I think that's going from supplementing to breastfeeding because I had that experience with one of mine, and like I've talked to a lot of women about that, like clients and stuff, that it's such a mindset shift when you are worried about like is my supply good, even though with that baby maybe you had no reason to think that your supply wouldn't be enough, but still I don't know. It's hard to go from seeing milk in a bottle going into your baby to being like, "Oh, I'm just gonna trust that whatever they're doing on there is like giving them enough."
Yeah.
You have to really watch their cues and the poopy diapers in the beginning and like all those things, but and then eventually you kind of just trust it. But like you said in the beginning, how
Yeah.
how do you trust it when you are used to seeing it in a bottle?
Exactly. Exactly.
Mhm. Have you noticed a difference with, like, transitioning to solids or weaning? Like, did you notice anything different with, your last 2 as you went through, like, the later feeding journey?
Not really. I honestly like I feel like ever since that I stopped, like strictly started breastfeeding, I felt like everything was pretty much, I mean, it was pretty good. Like the transitioning period was really good. I don't start giving like introducing any solids to my babies until they're like 6 months old.
Yeah.
And we usually start with like soup. Um,
Hmm.
it's mostly just soup or like avocados or something like that. But no, like I don't have any issues with them transitioning toward the solid foods. It's been pretty easy. I
Good.
would I mean,
Yeah.
all my kids, thankfully, like they're not picky eaters. I do have one that is starting to be a little picky, but for the most part, they eat really well and they transition fine.
Oh my gosh, I'm curious too about that with like having such a bigger sample size than a lot of us. Like having my second kid, I just realized like, okay, so much of it really is their temperament. But that probably is interesting for you parenting like you've done it probably similarly with a lot of them with starting solids, but then you have that one that's a little more sensitive or picky. I don't know. I Do you have anything to share about that?
I
About
mean,
the
it's interesting you said that. So I, as far as like start them transitioning from like, breastfeeding to solid foods, that was easy. But like now, like my, what is
Mhm,
it, like 4 years old,
mhm.
he will have moments where he's like, no, I don't want to eat that. And I'm like, no, you're going to eat that. And he's like, I don't want. And I'm like, no, like, do not stop the cycle. Like, everybody has been good. You cannot be the one to do.
Exactly.
No, I'm not going to be the parent that like fixes, three different meals for different. I can't do that. I can't. So usually what we do is we're like, all right, here's your food. This is what we're going to eat tonight. And if you don't want to eat it, you can save it for later, but I'm not going to
Perfect.
anything else. This is it.
Yep.
Well, it's interesting because I was listening to something about similar between like solids and breastfeeding is it was talking about when a baby has what was it? Maybe, oh, they're teething when they're breastfeeding. And so, like, they might accidentally hurt the mom. And it was saying that, like, if you just wait a little bit, like, clearly they're not going to starve, you know? And so, similarly, like, a child, when they're like, well, I don't want that, it's like, okay, well, you can wait.
Yeah.
um, like, I mean, they're not, they can wait
Yeah,
8 hours to eat or whatever.
yeah, they're not gonna die. They're
Yeah.
good.
Oh my gosh. I was just talking to I don't do this that often, but I did a toddler picky eating consult, and we were saying how like if you offer multiple small meals throughout the day, like if you're trying to turn around picky eating, like if you're kind of in control of like, okay, this is the food time, I'm going to choose when the food is offered and what food is offered, and then like you said, it's up to you if you eat it or not, but then you're going to offer again like 3 hours later, so if they really didn't eat anything, then maybe they'll learn and they'll eat the next time. So we're not doing
Yeah.
anyone, we're just giving them enough structure to eat.
Have like a plate of food and it'll sit in the fridge for 2 days. It'll be untouched from the child that did not want food.
Mhm.
Good for y'all. Okay, and so we talked about disadvantages. What benefits have you seen in you said talked about how, it feels natural, it feels right, and you wish that you would have had the opportunity with the first five. What other benefits have you seen?
Their immunity. I would
Mm.
say their immunity. I feel like I don't know. I feel like I don't know. I feel like the babies well, I've only breastfed strictly one baby. I'm on number two, but she is so dense and so heavy. Like, I just feel like she's such a solid baby and she's so healthy. Um, I mean, I would say that about the other ones, but just not as much. You know what I mean? I feel like their immunity is also like super good. Um, I don't know if this is true, but sometimes I'm like, wow, you're so smart. Like, I don't know. It's interesting. I think overall I don't know, their immunity, they're smart, they're just really healthy.
Awesome.
I really
Cool.
don't have any problems with.
Yeah, that's amazing. Wow. Well, it's cool to hear. A lot of times we'll have moms that come on and talk about their one child or two, and they wanted to exclusively breastfeed and, had issues. But for you, you're able to share about seven. So that's amazing. And it just gives such a good, like, robust sample size, like Abby said. Um, is there anything else like you feel would be helpful for moms? We always talk about how, we want this to be a podcast to help moms who are struggling in feeding and perhaps like they want to breastfeed but feel like they can't due to pressures or other responsibilities or medical reasons. So yeah, what would you tell a new mom that's struggling?
I would tell her to just be patient and give yourself a little bit of. It is not easy, but if you're patient, you can get through it. You can. And don't ever be afraid to ask for help. I know a lot of people are very like, I don't know if I guess it does come down to pride where they're just like, oh, I can do this. I don't need to ask for any help. But I feel like it is important to ask for help sometimes whenever you need to, like have somebody help with the baby, um, or if you need to sleep because it can be taxing. Um, but yeah, um, oh, there you are. Here, I'll take her.
Oh my
Have you, Catherine,
goodness.
have you seen her before?
I've seen her as like a newborn.
She's so big. Listen,
Oh,
listen, you guys. This is what breastfeeding does.
oh my
That's amazing.
God. Is
So
the
beautiful.
journey been going well? Like, did you guys have any issues in the beginning, like with latching or anything like that?
No, she latched on right away.
Oh,
I mean, stories about people, the babies not being able to latch. What is it, like the tongue tie?
yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I'm really like I've never had an issue with any of them latching. They latch on perfectly.
Oh, that's so.
Yeah,
Okay. And have you noticed like a connection between birth and latching, like the way the birth went and the latching, or has it just been every good for everyone?
I think it's just been good for everyone.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's awesome. You guys have
Amazing.
good genes, or
I know. I really don't have anything bad to say.
Blessed.
Honestly, like it really like everything has gone very well. Thankfully. So thank God for that.
Yeah, for
so
real.
good.
She's really good.
Yes.
And
I can just feel her smartness.
yeah, you're gonna be a smart baby, aren't you?
Oh.
It'll be 4 months in like 2 weeks. And
Wow.
already like standing on her feet.
Oh,
She's not holding herself up, but literally, like if I like pick her up, she just won't stand.
so cute. Oh my gosh.
Gorgeous girl. Wow.
Adorable. Oh my
Well,
God.
Abby, did you have any more questions for Brittany?
I mean, I love you kind of already gave some advice or you kind of asked this, but we always like to ask just what would you tell like a brand new mom? Maybe for you, like someone who's or welcoming like a third or fourth or fifth child and they're nervous about like the family dynamic or anything like that. And what advice would you give to a new mom?
I would just say, like, just listen to yourself,
Mm-hmm.
your instincts, your motherly instincts, and don't let anyone, their cousin, nobody,
Oh,
tell you not do it. You can do it. You
that's so
can do it. And like I said, it's hard,
mm,
but very rewarding.
mm,
Very, um, you get to bond with your baby, your baby, is getting all the nutrients. I mean, it's literally the best thing that you can do for your child.
Yeah.
But I know that everybody doesn't get to do that. I know some people, they have to bottle. But if you do have a chance to breastfeed, I definitely would say like that's the way to go.
And
For sure.
even like you said, like the fact that you were able to, like we always say, any amount of breast milk is beneficial to the baby. Like it helps their gut and helps their brain and everything. So even with your earlier children, like they still got that. So that's amazing that
Yeah,
you're able to do that while working,
I mean, I still have like, man, like I wish I could have just done what I did with, for 6, but it just, I wasn't in that moment working, and it just wasn't really possible for me.
Yeah.
But it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any advice for pumping moms or working moms?
What is it? Sorry?
I said, any advice for pumping or working moms since you had that experience?
Uh,
Quit your job. I'm just kidding.
Seriously, I was just about to say that, but I didn't want to sound or anything. Oh man, that was really hard.
Yeah.
Advice. Just hang in there. Oh my goodness. You're
Yeah.
a super mom. If you're really, I mean, there are moms that are out there that, strictly breastfeed, and they're like pumping their milk all the time to give to their baby. And I wow, that's amazing. Keep going.
It's a full-time job with the full-time job, right?
I don't know how they do it. I really don't.
Oh, well, thank you for sharing with us. It was
Oh,
Yeah, thank you so much, Britney.
thank you for having me.
Yes.
It's been such a gift. Thank you for coming on. Oh my goodness.
Hi.
So cute.
Hello.
Hey, beautiful girl. Alrighty.
All
Thanks again.
You're welcome. You
All
guys
right.
have
Bye.
bye.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you guys so much for listening. If you are interested in learning more about attachment feeding or have any feedback for us at all, please email us at thefeedinghourpodcast@gmail.com. You can also sign up for our email list in the link in the show notes to be the first to know when a new episode is released. See you next time, and happy feeding.